let's get one thing straight. How did I not die from the coronavirus? I'm joking. I'm joking. It's a messed up thing to say. I hope everybody's remaining healthy, happy, keeping themselves clean and conditioned for this pandemic that's shockingly as dangerous as it was sought out to be to cancel multitudes of major sporting events. Major events going around the globe, cutting off borders and a whole lot of crap. I just want to make sure everybody is happy, healthy, and living a long and prosperous life away from Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. But across me, personally attacking professional basketball players, I still have my job. That doesn't give me a lot of money. I'm not that popular, and practically barely anybody watches unless I have the most insulting things to say about one singular person. Uh, insert Jack Gallagher here. We also have our opening segment, previewing and showing an opening segment of Becky Lynch reacting to Shayna Baszler's interview, and of course her dominant performance at the Elimination Chamber at the main event of the pay-per-view from the previous week, or the previous night. Going over, she won't rest, it doesn't matter. And it just, I don't care. There hasn't been much build-up other than these guys had a bit of confrontation back at the before Survivor Series. And of course, they were all in the triple threat match, but that doesn't build up. That just doesn't build up stuff. That's coincidence. They don't have any personal attachment, unlike the Four Horsewomen feuds that they continue to do. And this is just much of getting NXT involved because WWE can't build up homegrown talent to be on the main event level, or at least the main roster level. So I don't really concern myself with Becky Lynch to think she's over, but she's the most popular women wrestler in the roster. That people like her when she was a heel, and now she's technically babyface. So the work, so it's technically just make Becky Lynch has more screen time. So I was okay, but it was a predictable finish that Shayna Baszler was going to win the Elimination Chamber. Angel Garza got a rematch against Rey Mysterio from Angel Garza's debut. They kept referencing that over the show. It was a fun matchup. Continuously using, he used the pants as a distraction over a backstrike. Selena Vega came in one time. I think there was a Hurricane Rana around the apron. A baseball slide into a splash. It was a brutal ass but a good match. It's like Andrade chemistry that Mysterio has with Angel Garza, but it's more fast paced and it feels more clever. It did end up with, of course, I think Angel Garza came up with the win. He did have, I think, kissing an older woman that I think was referenced to be his mom or something. Whatever, he's trying to picture himself with this lazy ladies man. They know they can't do relationships anymore on the main roster because insert Edge and Matt Hardy here. And it's already noticed around the globe if you're a massive wrestling fan that Aleister Black is with Zelina Vega. So them doing a relationship storyline or Zelina Vega doing anything with any other pro wrestler because he's of his Hispanic won't really amount to much. But other than that, good match. Pretty good match. Next up was, of course, a segment involving Charlotte with Rhea Ripley. Obviously, this is kind of weird because this is still like the champion and Charlotte's the challenger, and they're treating this like the Royal Rumble winner facing off against the ECW champion. I'm sorry, NXT champion. Thanks to this potentially trying to build up NXT as that third brand, and it's like, wow. Like I understand this is more of a proving grounds thing for NXT, but how does it feel that you're facing off against Charlotte Flair, an already established star, and she faces off against a woman that literally has to prove herself when she's already champion, and no one still cares? And she's like, "Oh, I'm a Charlotte knockoff," And Charlotte doesn't give a shit. All she is like, you're facing off against Charlotte. How does it feel about you going to an empty stadium while I fill up a real stadium and embarrass you for the women's championship? Decent promo of Charlotte's part, trying to make herself feel like $1,000,000, while it looks like just at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley's just gonna end up with $1,000 in her hand. No one really cared. She hasn't had a wrestling match against anybody on Raw since Sarah Logan. Next up, Zack Ryder against Bobby Lashley. Where is Lana? I don't know. It's like the storyline with her, Rusev, and Lashley just vanished. And thank God for that. But at least put some continuity into the how the relationship is going. Was Lana just doing this to make Rusev feel jealous or something? Or just something. Just make anything continue so there's a reason to watch Raw for the next week. We haven't seen Lashley since the Gauntlet match, and he failed to be the number one contender in that triple threat match he had weeks back before Super Showdown. By the way, where the fuck is Ricochet? Where is he? I mean, I would leave too if I lost to the 24/7 champion, Riddick Moss. Riddick Moss! Ricochet, I don't like Ricochet particularly, but he's a fun guy to watch on pay-per-view. He has no other particular likability other than he likes putting his finger in his butt. He looks like somebody who maked out with one gay guy in a Tyler Perry movie 1,000 times. And of course, he can do a flip. So technically, they had WWE had something planned for him, and then they make him lose in under 5 minutes against Brock Lesnar. Now we haven't seen him since. But somehow Bobby Lashley earns a squash match against Zack Ryder. That I'm shocked Zack Ryder hasn't asked for AEW at this point of his career. Matt Hardy's going to AEW. Lance Archer's going to. Oh my God, there's a lot of WWE guys. Next, I might see Mike Knox shaved. And now we have Zack Ryder still with Kurt Hawkins. And yet they haven't held the tag team titles since I think it's either Crown Jewel of the last year, whatever pay-per-view was after WrestleMania 36. 35. Other than that, no one cared at this point. Bobby Lashley had this random pummeling match. It ended off the Dominator after a spear was countered and he continuously started dominating. Kurt Hawkins wasn't there. They might be trying to push in a losing streak for another reason for us to remember that these guys used to be called the Edgeheads. And I thought they would be teasering stuff too because there was multiple teasers that they might make a reunion. The Edgeheads might reunite with Edge. He's on Raw, and it took him 3 weeks to finally be on fucking TV after multitudes of reasons trying to think that Edge is Randy Orton's this major heel. For no damn reason. Show that Randy is a particular heel. No one gave a fuck that Matt Hardy got beaten up twice in 2 weeks and then he leaves because WWE does dumb shit like that. And then Beth Phoenix, literally the most prime motive to actually go after somebody. It took them until now for Edge to get his lazy ass up so he can actually do something. Because you think at this stage of his life he cares about if Matt Hardy gets hurt or not? Oh God, this is so dumb. Drew McIntyre faced off against Eric Rowan and won. Eric Rowan had that huge winning streak. Then he lost to Aleister Black twice. And Aleister Black was suffering from a leg injury after getting assaulted by the OC, I think, 2 weeks prior. And then here he is losing to Drew McIntyre. I understand we're trying to push Drew McIntyre, but at least make it end off a DQ finish. You bring this dumbass tarantula, have him biting him all the last couple weeks, and then McIntyre murders the poor creature. The poor fake puppeteering creature. Rest in peace, that tarantula looking Muppet piece of shit that looks like Stephanie's cooch before shaved. It is disgusting that we even went through all that hype, all that trouble, all that mysteriousness to see that the thing wasn't even a real tarantula. It was a giant ass fake tarantula. And then McIntyre just kills it for no rhyme or reason at all. It's not like it's been causing any problems. Eric Rosen was just using it to scare jobbers. So what was the point? No one was the first person to witness it. Not anybody that Rowan had a personal beef with, or did it to scare any wrestlers that he had beef with, or the fans. He just did it in a backstage segment involving No Way Jose. That's literally just Adam Rose if he had no charisma, or attractive, or looks like one of my uncles. He looks like a Brazilian sex offender. No one wants to see No Way Jose on fucking TV. Give me Carlito. Where is Carlito? Primo, Epico, anybody? I'll take Hornswoggle back with more screen time than Aleister Black and watch No Way Jose still jobbing on television. There's no reason for No Way Jose to exist. There's no rhyme or reason. I don't know why he's still on TV, bro, and he never wins a match. Why do you have these guys losing matches every fucking week and they're still on television? Tell me that. Tell me why, WWE. I'm sorry if you think I'm aggravated, because I am. And it's because of the inconsistencies of why you have these guys winning or losing matches with no consequence, no benefit, no nothing, no future title shot, no future match stipulation. Fuck, Money in the Bank is already their own pay-per-view, so there's no build-up into any other stuff these niggas can do except being a dumbass a battle royale that does nothing for the winner. It took Braun Strowman finally winning the Battle Royale in 2019, and he didn't win a singles belt until last month. That's dumb. And he has failed numerous times for title shots because of injury, dumb shit, or dumb booking. Why haven't Braun done anything? Why haven't Cesaro done anything except being part of dumb factions? All this bullshit. And the biggest benefit out of all this is technically Corbin, because he still has a contract, and Bray Wyatt because he actually has a gimmick that makes him popular again. McIntyre's entire shtick isn't even that interesting. Next is Liv Morgan and Natalya, blondes versus the Kabuki Warriors. These dumbass chaps with Asuka's literal gimmick is that she's a weird weeb e-girl, fat piece of shit that has to cover her gut now, acting like a loser. It just pisses me off whenever I just see Asuka's promo that obviously 400 like 98.5% of the fans are not going to understand, except a few people that watch anime like me, and I have to notice, why is she still doing promos like this? I don't mind if you speak Japanese, but at least put some English on it for fans to get what you're saying, or something like this. At least Shinsuke Nakamura uses some English. Like Super Sentai or anime, they can speak a bit of English, but it's still in their accent, so it still looks weird as fuck. And Asuka doesn't know the cinch of this. Kairi Sane barely has anything to do except twirl her dumbass umbrella around. And then there was a match with Liv Morgan's dumbass theme song. The match that ended up with, I think, the Kabuki Warriors picking up the win. It was so dumb. No one cared. The Riot Squad, I don't know why they're trying to make sure we build up this match. I don't care about the Riot Squad. There's no reason. I'm about to say Riot Squad, bro. You can see that I should be taking my Tylenol at this point of the review, but every time I want to die. Why do we wait over all this time like Nia Jax? We haven't seen Mickie James in months. Women that are at least shown to be exciting on television are either injured or just not shown on TV. Where are these bitches? And yet I have to see Ruby Riott that hasn't been shown on TV or relevant since December of 2018. Liv Morgan been part of one storyline in over all this time in WWE, and she's lost a majority of the matches other than Rusev. And Sarah Logan ate shit. So I don't know why they're trying to do this storyline involving them. It ended up with the Kabuki Warriors off a distraction involving a roundhouse kick and Asuka picking up the win. I mean, and then Kairi Sane picking up the win by, I think, our elbow drop. Whatever. Natalya, it was just the same ground game shit. It wasn't as fast paced as they can be, because Natalya should ask for her release immediately. She shouldn't be there. She's better off going somewhere else, making money and being happy. with a better schedule than doing the same WWE shit, and she's obviously being underappreciated. I bet she's not even given veteran leadership. She's just given okay respect. And for me, I would fucking leave at that point, bro. I wouldn't be there. Sick of something like Vince Russo. This review is getting me more angry the more times we get into every segment. AJ Styles challenged The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Obviously, involving trying to take a playbook from Samoa Joe or Randy Orton at this case, because Samoa Joe's an idiot and took steroids and then became an idiot and got himself injured and the best thing he did over 2019 was commentate. And here he is blaming Michelle McCool, former WWE Women's Champion or Divas Champion at this point, or I don't know. WWE is so inconsistent. It's so retarded. That is his fault that he continues wrestling. Her fault that he's driving him to still wrestle, or something like that. It was just a basic personal ploy. It's like, when's the first time ever? And Michelle McCool and Undertaker have been married for a minute. No other pro wrestlers bring this up to him except AJ Styles, like he has a personal history with Michelle McCool. Or anything else that doesn't matter other than to push buttons with The Undertaker so he can get a match. Obviously, to get some retribution from a trophy that means nothing and costing him a match against Aleister Black. Oh, God, I'm going to lose it. Undertaker didn't come in after him literally referencing his wife, and that the first time bringing his wife into a feud kind of fucked up both guys' reputations, right, Sarah? Next up, Riddick Moss snuffed Cedric Alexander. Wasn't this guy like having big feuds with AJ Styles? Having these long matches. I swear he was even in the King of the Ring. Why is he losing to Riddick Moss? Why? This is supposed to be a belt that's supposed to be interchangeable at least in a couple of days or weeks. Like, everybody's supposed to be given their shots, and most of the title changes have been on Raw. Obviously, they want to give a reason for you to watch Raw, but they fucked it up, at least on back in the day on Raw and SmackDown, dude. There used to be, you get to see the top profile women on Raw. On SmackDown, you see the high-flying cruiserweights, fast-paced action. So there's different types of ways Raw and SmackDown do their type of entertainment. And for certain people, personal favorites would be SmackDown. For me, it's Raw because I like that drama shit. So those are your reasons. Why in the hell is Riddick Moss now in 2 matches beating Negroes? He beat Ricochet the previous week, and now here he is beating Cedric Alexander off that little rip-off chokehold STO off a dumb match that meant nothing. I don't think it was even for the 24/7 championship. There was no point for this to exist. I don't even know why the Jobber belt is even getting screen time with this Riddick Moss dude. I don't even know if he's from NXT. I don't give a shit. He just looks like a taller Tony Nese. Nobody needs that in life. He's a Jehovah rapist. After this, MVP came up out of nowhere so we can make a proposition to be the manager of Edge for some apparent awkward reason, even though we know damn well over the time Randy Orton was waiting patiently in the middle of the show, and Randy Orton just came in after Edge speared MVP, and then an RKO on Edge out of nowhere. That shocked the hell out of me. And then a concerto twice, and then a concerto on MVP, and then an RKO on the chair on MVP, ending up the segment. Even though that could have been the end of the segment, the main event was still a tag team match. It was a cool segment, and this was over from the middle of the show when Aleister Black was chosen by Seth Rollins to try to join him in a group and trying to prophesize him with the OC, trying to help him out with the OC. So you help him, he'll help you, kind of thing. Aleister Black declined. It ended up with a main event match that ended in a DQ finish, and then they just went to an impromptu 8-man tag that ended up with obviously the babyface coming out with the win. I didn't want to go hand to hand with this match because the review I don't want to be this long, It was an impromptu match. The Street Profits and the Viking Raiders literally came out of nowhere just to help up with this match. That meant nothing. It was completely rushed because WWE has a love-hate relationship with DQ finishes. They don't know if it should. They don't even know how to make it like feel like we're getting both guys over. At a point when no person's like getting strong in a DQ finish, especially when it's just now establishing group like Seth Rollins and the babyface group that's been feuding for them for months, it's kind of dumb why they're teasing this feud now. And obviously, they're trying to probably do Kevin Owens feuding with Rollins, or they're trying to do Aleister Black feuding with Rollins. I don't care. I don't care which is which. Either way, I have no excitement to watch next week's episode of Raw, SmackDown included, because SmackDown and Raw have been the most mediocre pieces of schlop. And as much as you want to give Paul Heyman credit over all this crap, just know no one gives a shit about the Lana and Lashley feud. No one gives a shit about Rollins' Monday Night Messiah phase gimmick. It's just dumb, it's rushed, and most of the matches still end in the same type of style, except there's less six-man tags and less gauntlets. Yet I know they'll do the same uninspired one-on-one matches with very little authority figure or a prestige in anything in the business, and WrestleMania is going to be a 17 match piece of slop for 6 hours. So other than that, Raw gets a 4 out of 10. There's been a couple segments that caught my attention. I don't know why Riddick Moss is still winning matches. This dumb little feud that Undertaker really got to deal with one of the better wrestlers in the show, and in a phase where it looks like he will literally be making his own coffin soon in that WWE Access shit come WrestleMania. Kabuki Warriors are still here. Underwhelming end to Eric Rowan probably. Zack Ryder still getting jobbed out for some apparent reason, even though he shouldn't be on TV anymore. Seriously, Tyler Breeze and Fandango are in NXT, but Zack Ryder isn't. Whatever kind of thing you're trying to do with Zelina Vega, the coolest thing was literally Edge beating the shit out of both MVP and Randy Orton. That was technically it. I have no interest in any of this. I don't. It's a 4 out of 10. Apologies if you wanted a positive review, but this is going to come from the horse's mouth. And the horse's mouth has also a horse's dick. So you can take it with a grain of salt, lick it too. So that's the review. Join this DST Nation, like, comment, and subscribe. Always like hearing feedback from everybody, and I hope you liked the review. So that's pretty much it for me. And I hope I hit the concerto on the coronavirus. God damn, this is really making everybody lose their shit and jobs and money. So please, just whatever you can, guys, just stay healthy out there. That's it coming from the DSC show.